Hey, yo, Dodoria. Oi. Toss me a broom. Sure. Give me a second. There you go. Thanks. Don't ever say I ain't never done nothing for you. The hell you waiting on? Your mama where you grew up with some fresh bacon eggs? Nah, some bitch. You grab a cold one, crack that bitch with a 5 finger grip on that some bitch, and let's do it. It's the Western Wrap Up. Let's go, boys. Woo! Hello, babies. Dad is here with the inaugural episode of my weekly wrestling wrap-up. Oh, I'm excited. This is a new chapter for us, babies. And first things first, if you got a cold one, which I instruct you all to have, make sure you get it. Give it that 5 finger death grip. And crack it. Have yourself a good taste of cold brew. Shout outs to Big Brother Hoops, Big Brother Carl, Big Brother Gallows, Big Brother Rocky, and all the other hoots out there. Double up for you. Now, let's go ahead and get straight to the news because this week was a very definitive victory for AEW in the Wednesday Night Wars. Now, if you've been keeping up, or if you decide to skim the Wikipedia page, which actually has tracked the ratings for the wars, I'd say at least 90+% of the time, AEW has dominated. Now a few weeks ago, NXT went on a good tear, getting the overall ratings, while AEW maintains that beautiful demo of 18 to 49. The demo that basically gets advertisers looking at the product. And more completely, with this week exactly, shows a skyrocket jump. Because AEW and NXT, they've been in the nice upper 750 ranges, or 700,000 range in views. For the first time in a long time, AEW has gotten to 800 and about 50,000 views, which is good. This could be going back with them being on the path of getting 1 million views since the early weeks of the show. Now then, I would love to hear the guys at AEW boasting about the fact that they were able to attain 1 million views again. But then again, it's all great to know that on Wednesdays, they have secured enough views to beat out both Raw and SmackDown collectively with NXT and AEW. That's good. Hopefully this can give more eyes on these brands that's not Raw, SmackDown, which have been controlling these views for years now. But let's not get into that because there's quite a few things that went on in this week. Now then, since we're on the topic of Dynamite, let's talk about Matthew Hardy, the vessel of Damascus, as he's gone on his YouTube channel to discuss that maybe it's time for him to put aside the other personas, because when he had visions of coming to the Elite Wrestling Organization, he wanted to hear waves of fans screaming, delete, delete, delete. And honestly, he definitely deserved it. He had worked hard to earn it, but due to the unfortunate global situation, this pandemic that we are dealing with, he is not allowed that benefit. But also it has opened up an opportunity for Matthew Hardy to come in and show himself. A new a new entity for the first time. We have had broken Matt Hardy. We've had Matt version 2 and 1.0. We have had bodacious Matt Hardy. And, well, Big Money Matt letting you know that it is so hard to be Matt Hardy. And that one that was cold as ice. But now it's looking like we're gonna see Matthew. We're gonna get a more personal Matt, which it's interesting. I'm down with it because this could be the Matt that helps guide the future, as he has been with young Sammy Guevara and the Private Party duo. I'm interested to see where this is gonna go, ladies and gentlemen. But that's not the only interesting things to talk about when it comes to Dynamite, because also, if you've been on the Twitters, what JTG, formerly of Crime Time, R.I.P. Shad Gaspar. May you rest in paradise, brother. Posted up a fan pic showing him versus Cody for the TNT Championship. Not in. Could this be him trying to put his feelers out to get a match? I would love to see it. Come on. It's been a long time since I've seen JTG. And this is a good time for him to really get back out there, because we're gonna have to open up the wrestling world again, and it's best for everybody to take the opportunities they have right now. Considering the limited resources and limited shows that are actually being run, this might be a great opportunity for him to get himself out there. I'm down for it. It'll be a good thing to go forward. Where's my beer? Yeah. Delicious. Now that since we're on the talks about biz, let's discuss some of the goings on with Impact Wrestling. Because obviously this week we had the in-ring presence on Impact proper of the Good Brothers. What's fun to see is the fact that they are really good on the mic. And if you know them from their time in New Japan, you know they're good on the mic. Carl Anderson, the Machine Gun, boasted his greatness as a talent, and he is great. He is literally one of those guys that had to stay in New Japan. I think would be a main event. I think he would be one of the 4 pillars of New Japan's main event scene. Luke Gallows looks like a fucking monster. Looks like he's in the best shape of his entire career. Man looks good. And then they got Talking Shopomania. On August 1st, I cannot wait to see. I will be dropping a review. It's going to go down. And I'm excited. But also, if you happen to listen to their podcast, the Talking Shop podcast, the worst podcast on God's green earth, then you also would know some of the issues they were having backstage, such as from the moment that they got there. Well, not even the moment. About 6 months in, they were ready to go. They were just ready to get pack the bags and haul out. And honestly, whenever they were on their way out and they were in talks with AEW, we find out that their first angle in the company would have been on the debut Dynamite. They come out, they meet the Bucks, they too sweet them, and then they beat their asses. And the fact that they were the first tag team considered for the Inner Circle, it blows my mind to think that it could have been Santana Ortiz might not have been there. They might have still been in AEW, but they would not be a part of the Inner Circle. It would have been Gallows and Anderson, and oh my God, that is a fearsome team. Not to denounce Proud and Powerful, they are a great tag team. But the Inner Circle with Gallows and Anderson instead, ooh, baby, that's a dangerous ass team right there. Dangerous. And then, they were so close to signing, but the last second, WWE gave them an offer that they honestly could not refuse. And I don't fault them for it. You know why? Because at the end of the day, they are men going into about to soon go into the grand finale of their years. This is the same scenario that you find with Kevin Nash, Scott Hall. Well, these were the last big paychecks they were probably gonna get in their entire careers. And they got kids, like Heath. So, the best thing to do, go for the money. And, it sucked that it was at the very last minute. I mean, if WWE would have offered this beforehand, you know what? Maybe there could have been a little bit something to talk about. But they fucking waited until the last goddamn minute to drop these big dollars. After they were planning on going, and I think for a brief period of time they said there was like some hard feelings. But at the end of the day, everybody understood. Everything's cool now. It's all water under the bridge. Then, there's the Heyman talking. Literally, everything involving Heyman is so bad right now that AJ can't even be on Raw because of it. And he ain't even in charge of the shit no more. But you know what? AJ's where he wants to be. Paul is still going to be Paul. And, the Good Brothers are out fucking making money. They are fucking hustling with all the negotiations, the fact that they're in Impact and will be able to wrestle in New Japan, which is very interesting because now I wonder if the plans they were going to have with the Bucks is going to transfer over to New Japan now. They're going to go back to the club. They're going to be back with Tama. They're going to be back with Fale. The OGBC is fucking back, baby. Oh, it's going to be good. I could chug me a bud to that good stuff. And for the last bit of news to close out this first episode, we got to talk about some injury reports. Shit got real rough on the previous AEW Dynamite. It was reported that Darby Allin got his bell clocked. He might be a bit concussed for some time. Hopefully, that doesn't interfere with the match. But more importantly, hopefully he will be fine. I do not want to see him back on the shelf. He has come back. I've been excited. I've been happy with having him. But, Jesus, man, you got to be careful. You already have a wild-ass array of moves. I don't need you fucking getting wrecked. But it's on Ricky Starks. But also, the Bucks and the Blade got pretty banged up in that fun-ass street fight they had. But you know what? Hope these guys are experienced. Hopefully, give them a couple weeks off to rest and recuperate, come back with their bodies and minds refreshed, ready to get back at it. And with that said, I call today's episode adieu. So, y'all gonna have a good one. If you ain't finished your cold one, go ahead and continue to get that sucker the 5-finger death grip, chug your buds, and have a good one. We out here. Peace.